the bag work about of apartment 5B.
You're now tuned into the Apartment 5B podcast, where we chop it up about hip-hop, R&B, sports, love and life. Hosted by Kill.
What's good? You tuned into Apartment 5B podcast hosted by your man Kill. Like my man Bezo said, it is a sweatbox in here today, man. Everybody is here today. And you know what that means? We got to be talking about. We got to be talking about Jay-Z. If everybody is here, B, we talking about Jay. But before we get into that, I got some questions for my hip-hop brethren to school me on this. Yo, what the fuck is it about Jay-Z? Like, what is it? Like, people lose their minds when it comes to Jay-Z, and I don't get it. And keep this in mind too. Like I tell my wife, here's my thesis statement: Jay's my number 2 of all time. It's no hate. I like the new album. I think it's dope. This is no hate, but what is this Jay-Z? It's like unlike anything I've ever seen before. It's like a solar fucking eclipse with Jay-Z. When Jay-Z drops, it's like time stands the fuck still. And I don't understand it, because it can't be about the bars. Because if it was about the bars, we'd be talking about Royce's Bar Exam 4 right now, because that's really about the bars. You know what I'm saying? So it can't be about the bars. Here's a story. I was in the T-Mobile store about a year ago, when the Note 7s came out, before it started blowing shit up. And I was talking to this dude who and we going back and forth about which one was better. And you know, he finally just said, he said, look, fam, I'm just an Apple fanboy. Like, I don't give a fuck if Apple put out a phone that don't even work. I just rock with Apple. You know what I mean? And they're just Jay-Z fanboys out here. Like I always said, Jay could come out with an album just breathing, and there would be niggas talking about, but son, do you hear how he's taking his breaths in? they're not regular breathing. Like, his fucking nostrils are bigger than most people, so he breathes more fluently the most. What is it about Jay-Z? Because I've never seen this before. And it's happened the same thing with Watch the Throne. Watch the Throne came out at 12 a.m. By 12:03, it was a classic. It was the greatest Jay-Z album ever. And I told the word is bond. I totally forgot it was even coming out Friday, because I was like, I don't even do social media when Jay comes out, because it's pathetic. It's another level of patheticness when Jay comes out. Same thing with this. By 12:20, it was the best Jay-Z album ever. It was only next to Reasonable Doubt, and it's been out for 8 minutes. Niggas ain't even get the damn story of OJ yet, and it's already 5 mics. Same thing with Magna Carta. When the commercial came out during the NBA Finals, niggas was already like, classic. Ain't even heard a song. So help me understand it, y'all. What is it about Jay-Z that just it's almost scary? Like, yo, like, this nigga is God. Like, I feel like niggas follow Jay the way niggas should be following Jesus. Like, this is a true story. I'm at my nephew's birthday party. I got on an Eagles jersey. He comes up to me. This is a grown man, and he says to me, he like whispers in my ear, like, "Yo, you heard what Jay said, right?" And I'm like, no, I'm like, what did Jay say? He was like, "Yo, man, the jersey's like, chill with that." And I'm like, yo, a grown man came up to me and told me, like, on the side, John, like, "Yo, brother, man, you got to take that off." Like, and I'm like, yo, so y'all really listen to Jay? I mean, he already told y'all, you know, I told y'all Cristal is dead, so y'all ask what we drinking. Like, Jay is like the eyes in the Wiz, like, what the color's green, green, color's green, color's blue. I mean, Jay told y'all to take off jerseys. Niggas, yo, the Mitchell and Ness jerseys were like $450. Niggas was like, they gone, we done. We don't wear jerseys no more, because of what Jay said. There are grimy niggas on my timeline on Twitter who talk greasy about women. They'll be like, yo, yeah, I'll nut in your face and walk past you next day. These same niggas now are talking about, yo, Jay kind of right, man. Like, yo, if you got a soulmate, yo, you don't need no menage a trois. And I'm like, yo, how'd y'all stop being greasy niggas to now being like, yo, Jay kind of right, son. Yo, having sex with two women, that shit ain't fun, man. Like, you are the biggest Jay fan that I know right now. Bruh, help me. Explain to me, what is it about Jay? Why do grown men act like this, man?
Who you asking of me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Listen, Kill, no lie. Listen, I feel the exact same way you do. I swear to you, I'm sick of it. Jay-Z is my favorite rapper of all time. I've made no bones about this. Ever since I heard Volume 1 in like when I was 15, 16 years old, I said, yo, this is the best rap I've ever heard in my life. Ever. I maintain that. But this mantra that he has no flaw and everything he does is perfect is really starting to vex me. I'm not gonna lie. Like we'll get into like the album and you know why I think it's a good album, why I think it's a great album. But for people to automatically just put it in the pantheon of Jay albums, I'm like, first of all, you gotta let it breathe a little bit. That's one. Let yourself digest the album first before you start comparing it to some of these phenomenal pieces of work that Jay has put out. 1. 2, there are flaws on this album. There are.
Thank you.
Everybody needs to cut it out. It's not a perfect album. You know what? Let me not say everybody needs to cut it out. At least to me, it's not perfect. There are spots. Listen, perfect albums are hard to come by. There's an interview with No ID about this album where he said he was holding up classic albums and asking what was the mistake in these albums. So just because an album is quote unquote classic doesn't mean there aren't mistakes in it. What I can't stand is people trying to put this over like the blueprints and reasonable doubts a week after it's been out. This thing has to stand the test of time. It's got to be impactful, and it's got to be like it's got to change the scheme of music or the sound of music in order for me to be deemed to be like better than Reasonable or Blueprint or Black Album. Like people got to cut it out, and I'm starting to get upset about it. Like people are like, oh my God, Jay is saying this shit about credit. I said, my man. Jay is talking about social issues. I said, my man. Nas dedicated an entire album to this years ago that nobody wanted to pay attention to. He's got a song with Damian. Jay has a song with Damian Marley on this album. Mm-hmm. Nas did an entire album with Damian Marley a few years ago, and nobody paid any attention. And the argument of Nas, he focuses too much on social issues. He's talking all that, trying to teach you and trying to kick knowledge. All of a sudden, it's like, man, Jay said I gotta get my credit right. I need to go ahead and get my credit right.
People are like, I'm listening to this album. Niggas like, yo, like when Jay is like, yo, you wanna know how to juice it? I'm like, my nigga, I know. Like, I'm like, yo, is this for remedial English, motherfucker?
Are y'all kidding me? This is the shit nigga, listen, my dad tells me this story. Listen, my dad is immigrant. He came from Ghana. He said he was working in a shoe store when he was like 21. He said he walked out of another store, bought some platform shoes. Dude pulls him aside and said, hey, stop buying that shit. He's like, the only way you will get ahead in this country is if you have education and good credit. That's it. I mean, these are lessons that I've been learning my whole life. I don't need Jay-Z to tell me that I should have good credit. Like, y'all gotta cut it out. What planet do you live on that somebody, a grown-ass man who you're not related to, who's 50 years old says, yo, get your credit right. And it takes that for you to get your credit right.
All right, we packed tonight, so I'm gonna keep it. My bad. I'm glad somebody feels my pain. Vegas, you are the hip-hop reporter. You keep your ear to the street like nobody else. I come to you for every story before it even drops. Talk to me, bro. You're from Brooklyn. Tell what is it about Jay? We're gonna get to the album, y'all. Stay watching. But I just had to get this off my chest. What is it about Jay?
They got a term for these kinds of Jay-Z fans that probably don't include anybody on this panel. It's called sheeple. Usually they say reserve that for people who like Apple and shit. But I mean, this is how some people are with Jay. You know what I'm saying? It's dope for him as a businessman because he'll never run out of business. You know what I'm saying? Any business venture he go into, he just has this mystique that's coming with him. So when the albums come in, he's already made his money. Basically with making the deals with Sprint and, you know, and being a part owner, not majority owner, but part owner in Tidal. You know what I'm saying? You have it built in already. And then you have these people who they're fans of Jay-Z, the businessman.
Right.
So
right.
What he says just carries more weight, you know what I'm saying, to them. They feel like, you know, because that's like a crackhead could be like, yo, go to school and brush your teeth every day. And you'd be like, man, get the fuck out of here, you know what I'm saying? But it's kind of like, word, look at the money, look at his wife, look at the status, word. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
no, I agree 100%. I've always said I feel like 75% of people who rock with Jay the man, not the MC. And 25% of us want to hear the bars. Like I always say, if Beyonce left Jay and he lost all the money and took away all the cars and he was back in Marcy, none of this conversation would be happening right now. Nobody would be talking about, you know, nothing, because they like what Jay represents. You know, he represents wealth, he represents good business. And hey, real talk, if Jay is giving business advice, yes, we should be all ears. You know what I mean? Yeah. Definitely, you know, but just for the basics things like, you know, you shouldn't cheat on your wife. Now it's like Jay apologized. Now niggas got a conscience now. So, you know.
I mean, go ahead. I'm sorry. I said my piece. All
right, Nick, what's up with you? You're Atlanta. Give me a down south thing on Jay.
Yeah, I was going to say, it ain't like that in the south. That's
okay.
The northern thing. Jay ain't got down here at all. You already saw Future and Boosie already mad with the money today here on the gram. It ain't like that here. I think from an outsider's perspective, New York really don't got nobody new. So when Jay-Z come out, they gonna champion because ain't none of the new cats at the top.
It's a spectacle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like all of the new cats that's popular with the hits, not from New York.
Right. All right.
Jay-Z is all this.
All right. JP, what you got on it, man?
I mean, you know, to piggyback off what my man just said, if you think about it, New York doesn't have anybody new. It's like the last two superstars that were from New York before Jay was Nicki Minaj and 50 Cent. I'm talking superstars. They were they fall into that superstar category. But Nicki Minaj still doing her thing, but 50 has kind of fell off as far as music is concerned. You know what I'm saying? So Jay is the anomaly. You know what I'm saying? So everybody is fascinated by the anomaly. You know what I mean? And he gives people hope that, I can be like that too. Nah, nigga, no, you can't. That shit is fake. That shit is the anomaly. The wife, the $500 million, that shit is an anomaly. Most of us will not be almost billionaires, I guarantee you, by the time we're 47. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, come on. But it's something to aspire to. And people enjoy that. They enjoy what they cannot be. They almost kind of live through him. And he's an inspiration. So I can understand that. It's more than just music. It's way more than just music. It's the whole spectrum of what he represents.
And I feel you on that because, like you said, you know, he's definitely something to aspire to. I think it's just scary because it's like when folk are literally like, yo, I can't, like I knew dudes who, one of my peoples had a X5 joint and I forgot in what rhyme Jay was like, yo, that's the baby mom.
With a drive X5.
That nigga, that shit is.
Yeah.
He traded in his car because of what Jay said.
Yo, dog, if you think that there weren't niggas who was like, yo, I'm not getting no 4.0 range. Like, I'm not. Right. Like, yes.
The 40 grand cocksucker beat it.
Before Jay said this, it was like, yo, Kill, I really want that X5. That thing is nice. I like it. You know what I mean? And then when Jay said that it's the baby mom car, he was like, yo, I got to get rid of this shit, man. And so, you're right, JP. It's something to aspire to, but like I said, it gets scary when people are like,
it does.
When you don't even really have, like, when somebody can make you change your own mind about something. Like, that's the scary part. Jace, tell me something, bro. What you got on?
I think that
First of all, I can't front. When this album first came out, we talked offline, Kill, and right off the gate, I was like, "Yo, number 2."
Yeah, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Really like that? I was like, "Yo,
like, what are you talking
yeah, yo,
I was. They came out this week. What do you mean, number 2?
But a lot of it has to do with a lot of things that were already said, yo. Like JP said, yo, he is the anomaly. This dude came along. He says it, the Mike Jordan of rap. Yo, Michael Jordan, my father never thought Michael Jordan was the best basketball player of all time. What he always said to me is Michael Jordan came along at the perfect time when when media started to take off. And because of that, because he came along at that time frame, he has the longevity that he is the best basketball player that most people have ever seen. And I'll take it to another sport. Satchel Paige is probably one of the best baseball players ever, but how many people have ever heard of him? How many people have ever seen him play? Did he play in the major leagues?
Right.
No.
Right.
He get more home runs than Barry Bonds and Babe Ruth. How many people have heard of him? He's not even mentioned, right? So there you have it. But for me, like JP said, he represents everything, and his timing, his longevity in the game. And not only that, but seeing the transition that he's made is why a lot of people hold it the way it is. The man is very calculated in everything he does, his business and his rhymes, his lyrics. I think that this has been planned out long in advance. Not the cheating on his wife part, but the transition. You know what I'm saying? Whoever plans to go stick their dick in something else.
Right. Marketing plan that
shit.
But here's the thing, Jace. Have you calmed down? Because when you texted me the next day, I was like,
I'll tell you.
Like, you really?
I got it in this top 5, definitely.
All right.
And I hope.
All right, Kill.
Yes, sir.
Let's go back to this because you never responded on Twitter.
What did I say?
Was Illmatic not called a classic? I couldn't even buy it in the store yet. It was a classic. So I want to know what's the difference
between this and Illmatic? I mean,
just any album. No, not this album in particular, but any album. Cause we like, you gotta wait, you gotta give it time. I couldn't even buy Illmatic in the store. It was already a classic.
Here's the thing. I think that I'll answer that. There are certain albums when you first hear them, you know, like Illmatic, you know, Blueprint 1, you knew, Kendrick, Good Kid, Batman City, you knew. It was something like about the sound of the album and how it just sounded different than anything else. The Chronic, First Chronic, even Snoop's album, Doggy Style, it was different. Like when you first hear them, it's like, wait a minute, this is unlike anything I've ever heard. And I don't necessarily feel that way about this particular album. Right. It's something I haven't heard from Jay, but it's not to say that other rappers haven't done this before. You understand what I'm saying? So.
No, I'm not even talking about.
I want to get to that later because one of the things that you said earlier, because you said that this has the potential to be a classic album, and I want to talk about that too because I think that's going to be another good discussion. Let me get Rec and B on real quick so we can start diving into the album. Rec, anything different than what we've already said? I mean, have you?
Nah, man. I'm not gonna beat a dead horse, man. Everybody has hit that shit up the nail on the head. Jay hit it. I would say the best. His albums, man, become a fucking spectacle. If he just released the album on his own, no title, no fucking sprint, no stipulations, you gotta have this, you gotta have that, and just let the average fan digest it in its purest sense, then yeah. But this shit becomes a fucking Barnum and Bailey circus out this motherfucker. Like, I had to go and download Tidal just to listen to it, and then my man was like, yo, do you need a copy? And he emailed me my copy. But I shouldn't have to fucking download Tidal as just a regular fan to go and listen to an album. Like, there was no stipulations back in 95 when you wanted to fucking hear Doggy Style or fucking, The Shining or no shit like that. You took your ass to the fucking record store and bought the album and went home and digested that shit. You got motherfuckers still ain't heard the album.
Yeah, that's true. My man hit me the other day, like, damn, good looking. I'm like, damn.
like you just fed him on Thanksgiving Day and shit. Like, yo, good look.
Right. All right, B, what you got on it, man?
I mean, everybody pretty much hit the nail on the head. But the one thing I will say to take it maybe a little bit deeper is I think what it's more of a societal thing, man. Where I mean, the question being, why is Jay-Z resonating so heavily to cats? I think everybody on this panel is educated enough to not be influenced that greatly by a musician. You know what I mean? Where you're making life decisions. But if any of us have been in the hood enough, come on, fam. I know about 10, 15 cats personally, friends that I grew up with, love to the death. That's still the life they living. You know what I mean? I can go back to the corner I ran around when I was 18, 19, and some of them cats are still there. So when you got niggas who are mentally, I think it was homeboy Keith Hill, the Get Out cat, he said thing about the sunken place. Yeah, that's real. You know what I mean? And the minute if you in a sunken place, and the minute you look up and you see someone that looks like you, that is above that, you know what I'm saying, on so many different levels, the business wise, the money wise, he's got the hottest chick in the game, as he constantly reminds us. It becomes a way to like almost mentally get yourself out of that sunken place while you're listening to this cat, while you're following this cat. So I think it's just a much deeper societal issue, especially in the hood, man. This is where we at. Us personally right here, right now, may not be because we've been blessed to have enough intelligence and be raised a certain way and this and that. But again, I personally know about 10 to 15 cats like my peoples that, yeah, man, they still stuck on that and they hear this shit. And I think some of what Nick said about, being the New York shit is very real too, that New York cats and up north cats are so desperate. It's like the Great White Hope type of shit. Like cats are so desperate for some nigga to carry the torch for New York hip hop. It's like JP said, 50 ain't doing it no more. Nicky ain't in the place to do that. Jay is like the realest dude. He's an ex-hustler. He got the baddest chick. He got the paper. He got the Maybachs. So it's like everything that wild New York cats ever ascended to be with some street shit, they took that and took it to a next level, owning basketball teams and shit like that. So to them, he's like a folk hero, dog. 100 years from now, Jay-Z will be like an urban myth type of shit. You know what I mean? Like this great black hero, like the dude that fucking beat the train with the hammer type shit. Like, yo, this is like
It's gonna be like John Henry.
It's gonna be Jay-Z and shit, but it's gonna be actual shit to go back and listen to. But somebody one day gonna listen to the shit like, well, hold up. There's like 15 other MCs that was doing the same shit way before this cat. Why, when he says it, everyone follows. And that's why, man, it's a deep society thing. The cats, they look at him like a hero, man, because he came from the hood shit, the hustling, all of that shit, and got to where he's at with it now. So it's a deep society thing to me.
Right. I feel it's like Jay said, all the hustlers love it to see one of us make it. So, that represents it. All right, let's get into the album. Real quick, were y'all hyped about this? Just real quick, were you excited about?
I'm always gonna be hyped. Regardless.
I even get the words out. Okay,
look, man, I ain't gonna lie, I was crunk. Like me and my homies on the group chat, like, putting little songs, have been playing songs throughout the day from OJ albums. I was kind of crunk the day of, like, not necessarily the days leading up to it, but the day of, I just woke up and I was like, Happy Hope Day.
Oh, hell no, man.
There we go.
You remember, he had texted me and you, like, Happy Hope Day. And I'm like, motherfuckers is waking me up to text.
Man, look, it's a big day. Not only that, but listen, as overblown as the album is like, it was just, what I was really just happy about was like, when it dropped at 12, like the majority of the rap fans were going to be listening to it at the same time. Like I heard Pete Rock was waiting until midnight. It was everybody was trying to ingest it around the same time. So that's why I was like, I was ready for it. I ain't gonna lie. I missed your podcast last week due to some other things, and I was like, damn. But I am going to listen to that J album at midnight.
Let me explain something to you. I've been doing this podcast for almost 3 years. People always call out. I always overbook. It'd be like 10 people for a show because I know at least 4 gonna dive out, which is cool. We all old niggas got stuff to do. I get it. But I knew for this Jay, I knew.
So this is the first time I called you. I called you like that.
You gonna call me. Niggas calling me like, yo, what we doing the Jay joint? Like, I didn't even have to send out the bat signal. Like, people was already like, yo, we did. Fed, was you hyped when you first heard Jay was coming out with a new album? Were you like, like I'm ready for it, or were you like, man, I don't even care?
I was curious, only because of the fact that I kind of like half of the last album, the Magna Carta joint, and I kind of felt like Jay was going to be a little bit personal and conscious, and I put that on Twitter before the album dropped.
Now, what made you think that? What made you think he was going to be more conscious?
Because he always wanted to do that, and I felt like the time was right for him. For one, Kendrick is a conscious artist that's highly successful, you know what I'm saying, which people tend to ignore. And two, he's not going to get hurt because he's always making his money. You know what I'm saying? Like in the past, he may have been a little bit skeptical, or maybe people around him were skeptical that if he tried to go that route and be a little too honest or a little too conscious, you know, he might lose his fans. But now when he can set it up on the back end where he's not really losing no money, as you can see, everybody's waiting to hear it. And like before they hear it, they call it a classic. So now it's kind of like, well, let's give them what they want. You know what I'm saying? And for him, I was honestly shocked because I didn't read anything. I just listened to it straight. And then when I looked, I'm like, yo, No ID did the whole album. And every track was like hip hop for real. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see that part coming, but I saw the more conscious part of Jay coming because he never really got a chance to do that for an entire album.
Right.
Songs here and there. But me personally, I wasn't really hyped. I was just curious. I didn't think it would be anything that was whack. But you know, I was trying to see like, will he do it this time, or is he going to just go with the flow and try to satisfy, you know, the other side of hip hop? But he didn't. So,
all right, Nick, what about you? Were you hyped for it?
I'm not gonna say I was hyped, but I was when I found out that No ID was producing it, not just executive producing. I was like, all right, at least I'm gonna like the beats, if nothing else.
Right. Yeah,
so
that's what I was. Because at first niggas was getting at me like, yo, No ID's executive producing the album. And I'm like, y'all niggas do know what executive producer means, right? Like, you know, let's define some industry terms here. But I'm like you, when I found out No ID was doing the whole thing, because I rock with No ID, and then it was just like, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time that he's done a whole album with one producer.
It is.
I really was my guy.
So Premier and Steve got to be mad.
That's fucked.
They should be.
They should be, because it should have been done years ago.
For real.
All right. Yeah. All right, JP, what about you? Were you excited for it?
I mean, you know, because the Magna Carta came out like 4 years ago, so right, so it's that type of anticipation. But I wasn't super hyped because at this stage in the game, I just knew like, regardless if it's hot or if it's whack, it's not gonna hurt his career at this point, because there's gonna be people who's gonna love it and there's gonna be people who's gonna hate it. Like that's my thought process. So I wasn't too like, oh, I gotta hear it's gonna be crazy. I was just like, we'll see what it is. I wasn't too hyped because I knew, you know, I thought it'd be okay regardless. You know what I'm saying? You finding out No ID was doing the whole thing, did that intrigue you even more? I didn't know. I didn't know for sure until after it came out that No ID did the whole thing. Right. But if I knew ahead of time, I probably wouldn't have been hyped that well either, because I'm not a huge No ID fan. Okay. Like, all right, Jace, what about you?
I'll say this, man. Me following certain stuff with President Obama leaving office, knowing that he had a whole bunch, basically had figureheads of hip hop, if you will, at the White House. The current climate of our country. I knew and with the success of your J. Cole's and your Kendricks, I was kind of looking to see if he would what direction he would go. I'm gonna say that. I did not know up front that No ID was producing the whole album. I was happy of the content, him acknowledging this, because in my opinion, for so long it was like an undertone on his albums. If you really listened to his lyrics, then you knew that he was up on shit, but it was never this blatant. So yeah, I mean, to bring it back around full circle, because we sardines in here. I was 50-50 about the album. I wasn't too excited about Magna Carta when it was released because of the hype behind it. Typically, my opinion, my experience is that most of your underhyped albums tend to be the best, and the ones that they put too much emphasis on, they don't really meet the hype or exceed the expectations. So,
all right. What about you, Rack?
You asked me this last week in the last podcast, and I was excited only for the fact that No ID was executive producing it. I didn't know he produced the album until, like Veg said, after I listened to it, after I hit that first run through, I was like, let me go back and see who produced what. And I saw that, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go run through it again. I didn't know No ID produced the whole album. I'm glad that one producer did, because it was about fucking time. But I think that there was more that he could have done. But I think that's Jay. He's being calculated. He's way more educated than what he leads on, as far as like Professor York teachings and things of that nature. But this is the type of album that he should have did, in my opinion, 5-6 years ago. He should have been telling us about patents and shit like that. We're gonna
get into the album. We're gonna get into the album right now. Be real quick. Well, what was your thoughts? Was you hype, whatever, for it?
Nah, man. I mean, we talked about. Greg said we talked about last week, or the other week. You know, it was more curiosity. I mean, I was never a big No ID fan like that to be like, oh, you know, once I hear he's doing it, I gotta check it out. But I was, when I saw that commercial, with homeboy from what's the movie?
The Moonlight.
Yeah, Moonlight. It did pique my curiosity because I forget who mentioned it. Like, you know, Jay, you know, out there politicking with Hillary Clinton and being around Obama and shit. It felt like now was the time. This is the album I wanted him to do after Blackout.
Yeah.
So it felt like now was the time. And when I saw that commercial, it did make me like, all right, I'm gonna make sure I check it out. But it wasn't like I'm like Hove Day, like my man said, it wasn't like that the other day. You know what I mean? It wasn't whatever Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever. But that's, you know, that's the hip hop in me. You know what I mean? Just curious, Jay-Z. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna sit here in front and be some anti-J cat like, nah, it's Jay-Z. I'm a hip hop head. He's doing some new shit. I gotta check it out.
All right. Let's dive into the album, man. What are cats feeling about it? What after living with it for a week? What's your ratings? What's your favorite song? What's your least favorite song? Yeah, let's get started with you, bro. What's your? Well, you know what? Yeah, go ahead, Yao. You get started with you. Favorite song, least favorite, and then what do you give it on a 5 mic scale?
So my favorite song tends to change day to day, but honestly, I don't think there's a better song than Marcy Me. I don't think there's anything better than Precision Flow vintage Jay-Z. I don't think there's anything in the world better. He bodied that joint. I love everything about that song, from the beat to the lyrics. The end of the hook, I feel like what they had actually like a prior judge put it in between for the first version of singing. I would figure like some things happen. Changes. I thought instead of going to the hook, it went right into the second. The first verse was like probably two verse. So I was. It's probably a certain point, but I actually tend to skip it a lot. You know? Those are the two. My other favorite song is Family Feud. Those are the two that I'm really banging with right now. Family Feud and Marcy Me. If I had to give it a rating out of 5 mics, I'd probably give it a 4 at this point. All right, it's a 4. A strong 4 though. All
right, no doubt. Veg, what you got on it, man?
I've kind of bounced around with like what's my favorites, because it's one of those things where it's so short that, you know, I kind of played it over and over. Especially when I was trying to analyze it for the review I wrote. Originally, Smile was my favorite because of, you know, the whole situation with his mom's being gay and how personal it was. It just kind of struck me, you know, first. But then every time I hear the title track, 444, that fucking beat is sick. You know what I'm saying? And Jay does right by it. You know what I'm saying? And I know for some, the pop-like motherfuckers, it's like, oh, it's the answer to Lemonade. I don't give a fuck about that. None of that shit was in my article. Like, if you read my article on shadowleague.com, none of that dissing Kanye and answer to Lemonade and none of that shit was in there. Because I really was thinking about the fact that Jay was being very personal on like every track. When he mentioned his family, it was some shit you wanted to hear. None of that other shit that he did on Magna Carta, where it's like, yeah, my baby got more money than you. She waved the tech. Like, I don't want to hear that shit. No, she's not coming for me. You know what I'm saying? But this shit talking about you know, talking about buying a painting and talking about how much money it made over the years, and then letting you know he bought it to give it to his kids, that's the shit I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because you think he's bragging, but there's a purpose behind the bragging, and that's kind of what Jay-Z is kind of known for, is like, you know, being braggadocious. But with this album, there's like a reason behind all of it. You know what I'm saying? Where he never really used to give that. He would just throw that shit at you and just be like, you know, we don't drink Belvedere no more. We drink Ciroc. Well, why we drink Ciroc now? Because what's better than one billionaire? Two. And, you know, Puff has this. See, you know what I'm saying? The whole reasoning behind it just gave it a little bit more meat, and the length just helps. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I like a lot of it, and I'll probably give it. Again, I'm like, yeah, I'll probably give it a 4, a strong 4, because I don't feel comfortable calling it a classic. I didn't really get that vibe when I first listened to it. But like somebody said early, it's definitely in that candidacy for top 5 of favorite Jay-Z albums of all time for me.
All right. Nick, what about you? What you got on it? Nick.
Favorite track, Marcy Me. Least favorite is probably the joint with Frank Ocean. I can't remember the name of it right now, but that's probably the least favorite.
That one was Caught Their Eyes.
I forgot to mention when we was speaking the last time. I think Jay didn't have a choice but to do an album like this due to the albums that Beyonce and Solange released last year. So the pressure was on him to do something different. He couldn't just do the cruise control Jay.
True.
So I think that kind of forced his hand to give an album like this.
All right. Well, how many mics you giving it?
Strong 4. Strong 4.
All right.
Like I said, it's got the potential to be top 5 J.
Oh, okay. Now hold tight, because I thought you. All right, that's what you meant by top 5. I thought you said it had the potential to be a classic. Did you say that, or you were saying potential?
Yeah, I think it has the potential to be a classic.
All right, we gonna get into that later. JP, what you got?
But a classic album don't have to be 5 mics.
Well, all right. This is where our ages come intertwine. Like 5 mics is a classic album, so I don't know when you say it could be a classic, but not 5 mics. But we gonna get into that later on. JP, what you got on it?
But
I guess
only Built for Cuban Links is a classic, right?
Nah, B, that ain't my thought process. Nah, it's a lot of classic albums. That's your thought process, B. You the one with like 3 classic hip hop albums of all time. We gotta get into it. We gotta get into it.
What I'm saying, the classic ain't gotta be 5 mics.
Okay.
The classic ain't gotta be. Only Built for Cuban Links wasn't 5 mics. It's a classic.
But I mean, that was written by somebody who worked at the source. I mean, it's 5 mics to me. I'm talking about what you yourself give it, not with a writer giving.
I'm not ratings like that, because ain't no album perfect to me. So I never give a 5 mic to no album.
So no album has ever had 5 mics from you. Nothing.
My connection is like breaking up now. So you still talking to me?
Yeah. No album has ever had 5 mics.
Damn.
I don't give no rap album no 5 mics.
God damn, I need a drink. Stevie Wonder.
Not no rap nigga.
I ain't mad at him. That's
That's cool.
Woo! So Stankonia is, I mean, that's Stankonia. So Criminal ain't 5 mics?
4.5.
Oh, God.
All right, we gonna bring it back. We gonna bring it back.
Big response to that. Nigga cold.
This is a bigger conversation.
Sidetrack.
Now, yeah. Let's put a pin. We got definitely pin in that. JP, what are your thoughts on this album? We know it ain't a 5 for Nick. We know that, but what are your thoughts on this album, JP?
I like my favorite joints. I liked Kill Jay-Z. I like the story of OJ. That's probably my favorite track at the moment. I like the title track. I like Family Feud. The title track almost sounds more like spoken word to me than
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was interesting coming from him. I would give it a 3.5. I could give it more, but I won't, because for me, the beats didn't stand out. Like, I was paying more attention to the lyrics. Like, the beats are almost like background music to me.
Right.
Some of them. You know what I'm saying? So I pay more attention to what he got to say than the actual beats. You know, I'm a beat guy, so I like that nice and balanced. But, you know, I was paying more attention to the lyrics than the beats. So the beats kind of played the background for me. So I'm gonna stay at 3.5. All right, Jace, the dude who hit me the next day. You came out firing with the block. What you got on it now, bro? What are your favorite tracks? What do you give it after a week?
I got it at a 4, possible 4.5. Not definitely not a 5. My favorite song on the album by far for me is Family Feud. There's so many themes that are addressed throughout the album, but this one song in particular just hits on a lot of stuff that I can relate to personally. That's my favorite song. I like Smile. Him talking about his mom, being very personal, vulnerability. Just he addresses a lot of issues that Nas has discussed before in the past, that certain artists have touched on in the past, grown, mature. But because of his total package, his appeal to the masses, it sticks. It resonates more, I think, than say a Nas album has, or would, or say a Fonte. The Charity Starts at Home, which you gave as a good example, which I thought was a super dope album. But yeah.
All right. So strong 4, maybe 4.5. Right, put a shot on it, bro.
All right, so least favorite, Marcy made the dream didn't need to be on it, in my opinion. Favorite, Family Feud, The Story of OJ, and 444. I think those 3 songs right there are the meat of the album. I would have liked to hear stronger beats, but I get it. Your beats don't always got to overshadow the lyrics, and I think this album was lyric driven. As far as what I give it today, right now at 9:50 p.m., I give it a 3.5. It could possibly get a 4, but it's gonna be a weak 4. It ain't gonna be no big joker. It's gonna be like a fucking ace of fucking diamonds. I'm just saying. It's not going. It might not go through. It might get cut. So right now, at this time, I'm gonna give it a 3.5, man. It's dope. It's dope. So 3.5, man.
All right. And what's up with you, B?
I mean, this album, man, is bugged out for me, man. It's like very contrasting feelings throughout the whole album. 444 is easily my favorite track, though, easily. I mean, but it's crazy because even in that song, it takes me back to a writer's podcast we did talking about like digging and whatnot, and like that sample is from a song that was released like last year, like November last year.
Yes,
but
sir.
Sonically, that's my favorite joint between the sample. I mean, that's one like JP was saying. As a music cat, I'm gonna listen to beats. Gonna get me first, and then I'm gonna hear what Jay is saying. So all the stuff talking about his moms and all that doesn't really move me. If the beat isn't dope to make me want to hear it, I'm not going to listen to a marginal beat just because I like what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't work for me like that. Mm-hmm. But like the story of OJ is a perfect example of what I'm saying. That sample, the Nina Simone 4 Women, is one of my favorite songs, period, in any genre of all time. I mean, if you never listened to it, I advise everyone to check that song. It's a very powerful song. And I just didn't like the way No ID flipped the sample. Because the song is such a classic, it's so poignant and powerful. To me, if you're gonna sample that, you gotta take it as is, man. I don't wanna hear it's Nina Simone voice, high pitch and then low. Nah, let me hear the original shit and Jay add on like that, you know what I mean? But the rest of the album, when I listen to it, that shit does not knock. And as a hip hop head, my shit gotta knock. And like we talked about it, Kill, on Twitter, like, for me, cats that making it a classic from day one is like I said about, it's like getting some hot pizza right out the oven and you trying to eat that shit. Yeah, you could eat it, but you better off letting it sit for a minute, enjoy the smell, and then eat it after it's cooled off a little bit, where you still can taste it and it's good. That's how cats got to take this shit. But jumping right in like it was the dopest shit ever, that's a little extreme for me. But at the same time, for Jay to finally do this, like I said, I wanted him to do this album 3-4 albums ago, talking about some real shit, you know what I mean? Getting away from all that hood glorification shit. And somebody I was talking to on Twitter said some real shit where they have a problem with him now doing this. They're like, yo, this is like the fireman starting a fire and putting it out. It's like you spent 10, 12 albums kind of contributing to young men wanting to be hustlers and chasing all this materialistic shit. Now, off for one album, cats want to call him a savior for the hood, because now, for the first time after 15 albums and 20 some odd years in the game, you're talking some conscious shit. And I can't really fault them for feeling that way, because it's kind of true. But I'm not going to hold Jay like, nigga, you 47. You know what I'm saying? It's about time you talking on some grown man shit. So I can't hold you to like what you was talking about 20 years ago, because 20 years ago, if you would have told me I'd be married and have a family and all that, I would have thought you was out your mind. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a grown-ass man now. You know what I mean? I enjoy having a family, a wife, and kids and all that shit. So it's a very contrasting album for me, but the most important flaw to me and why I can only give it 3.5 mics is it does not knock, my nigga. I listen to it with my equipment in the studio. I listen to it in the whip. I listen to it on my laptop with nothing attached to it. And it sounds almost the same color on my laptop speakers as it does in the whip and as it does out the studio monitors. And I got an oral exciter. It's got the EQ with the bass up on it and all that shit. And that's one of my favorite songs. Like, yo, the bottom in this shit. You know what I mean? It's like, that to me is the biggest flaw on why I cannot. Sonically, it doesn't resonate enough for me, man. I like the messages, but for me to listen and just be all in, I'm riding with this shit, or I'm taking a road trip, I'm listening to 444 the whole way over and over again, that shit gotta knock, my nigga. I gotta be able to, from time to time, open the windows, open the sunroof, and just knock. I can't do that with this album. I just can't. It doesn't sonically do that for me. And that, to me, is a big deal. That's hip-hop. Hip-hop gotta have that knock. And this album just does not have it. And it's obviously intentional, because I think it's about, when you think about this, real quick, we all do music on some levels, whether it's producers, MCs, or DJs. But when you go to your friend's house or your family's house, how many people actually have a stereo nowadays? Nobody. Everybody listening to shit through their headphones, through earbuds, maybe some Beats by Dre. Usually it's some Bluetooth speakers, some computer speakers. So a lot of people, the fans that Jay is touching, they're not knocking shit like we are. I mean, they're not trying to hear that shit. They don't need to hear that bottom, that bass in their earbuds. So to them, it don't mean nothing. And that's what he did this shit for. But there's no coincidence that not one song on the album knocks. There's no 808 and none of this shit. Like, come on, B. That's intentional. And it's like, okay, I feel it. You know, Jay's that type of artist now. He got worldwide fans. He gotta make music for. So if he's gonna do our type of hip hop with the samples, he got to do something that is not going to turn off that audience. You know what I'm saying? And make it so that it's calm, because it sounds like sonically like a mixtape to me. Sonically, you know what I'm saying? When I listen to it.
All right.
So 3.5 mics. I get that shit.
You got 3.5 on it. All right. I mean, I like the joint. Probably my favorite joint is probably right now that Family Feud joint. I rock with that joint. I just love that sample. At first it was like, I like the whole Kill Jay-Z joint, kind of with Beezel you was talking about with the fireman starting the fire and now putting it out. I kind of like that. Like just him being like, you know, look, you gotta stop this. I don't give a fucking attitude. Like you stabbed for this, you did this for that. Like I dug that story of OJ. I dig it. To be honest, yo, I don't like Smile because I'm just like, yo, this nigga's like sampling like Love It. You know, like he's sampling Stevie Wonder. It's like, yo, what the fuck, man? Like this whole album, this whole Jay-Z thing to me has been like, yo, what the fuck, man? Like I don't get it. You know what I mean? But I read an article with No ID, and he was saying how he asked Jay what was some of the music he was listening to and some of the stuff he listens to, and then he decided to sample some of those joints. So that's how like that sample ended up on the album, or the Nina Simone ended up on the album and things like that. But I just couldn't get past that. Like even the next day, I'm like, yo, my nigga, he sampled Stevie. Like, come on, like. And again, that's just back to the digger in me. Like I want to be like, yo, what is that? And I'm like, you know, even the joint, probably Moonlight is probably my least favorite because I'm like, yo, you sampling Fuji Live? Like, didn't Nas and Khaled just do that? Like, like, yo, what the fuck? Like, I don't get it, man. And then like with the Bam, I'm like, yo, you sampling Sister Nancy, like main source. So for me, it was like the digger in me, like button heads with everything production wise, you know. But I mean, for me, at the end of the day, I give it 3.5. You know, I don't think it's gonna move forward any more than that. I of course dig what he's saying. It's dope. But let me ask y'all this about Jay, because we all know he's a businessman and everything like that. And I was on a podcast the other night with my man Doc, and the co-host had asked me about, I don't know how we got on, I think it was the Jay-Z, and we got on like to Lemonade. And he was like, yo, Kill, don't you think it's kind of fucked up like that she put all of their business out there for the world? Like, isn't that something that should have been taken care of at home? And he was like, yo, I personally think it was all a business plan. Like, yo, we gonna sell more records if it's on. So, because I remember when the Lemonade video first came out, me and T watching like, yo, who is she talking about? Jay? Like, there was all this excitement of it, like, yo, was she bashing Jay? So, do y'all think that was a business move from Beyonce, and then to follow it up? So, like I think somebody was saying, not that he intentionally cheated on her to get record sales, but like, we gonna put this out there. We're gonna tell our story. Like, we already got Solange whooping your ass in the elevator. Like, everybody want to know. Like, let's give them something. So yeah, just real quick, do you think that was a business? Because I feel like everything Jay-Z does is a calculated business move. So do you think what it was, or do you think it was just like Beyonce, like, look, I gotta get the shit off my chest. It is what it is.
It might have been a mixture of both, honestly speaking. I mean, Jay's never been a guy who's ever been this vulnerable on a record. He's never exposed any of his like true feelings about his relationship, his kids, none of that. He doesn't do it. So it's just very, like you said, very calculated, very meticulous in how he moves and the songs that he puts out. But at this point in his life, probably time for a change, business-wise. Also a change personally. Maybe want to expose some of that, because Jay's always been one of the most private people in the world. Like, we've never seen where he lives. He's never done an MTV cribs. He never does any of that type of stuff. He never lets people in on what's really going on. So honestly, like, now that you mention it, the business plan does sound like it could be legit. But I just feel like some of those emotions on the album, I just feel like are too personal. Like, and I think we've all been through it. A lot of the stuff, like as men, we've all been through it. Like that whole, you know, pick up the phone because when you know you fucked up. Like that's nothing that like people really playing around with. And I feel like in order to write about something like that, expose something like that in a song, you have to have at least gone through it. So I feel like, you know, a lot of it is personal. I feel like he decided, you know what, he older right now. He's more vulnerable. And I won't say less. Let me say less vulnerable. He's older right now, but also more comfortable enough in his skin to be able to like to let the world in on at the very least this, which is a big step for Jay.
And keep in mind, I'm not really even more so talking about this, but even starting with the Beyonce album, like for her putting all this business out there.
Okay. So I definitely feel like, because if you listen to the albums prior, the 2 hours prior for Beyonce, I'm not sure if y'all listen to Beyonce. I do. I'm a fan. If y'all can judge if y'all want, but whatever. Anyway,
I rock with it.
All right. So if you listen to Beyonce's prior 2 albums, there's a lot of love. Like, she's in a very high place in her life. Like musically, she had just she just gotten pregnant by Jay on one of the albums, then she had the baby and was having fun. Like the album she made prior to that, the Beyonce self-titled album, was a lot of like feel good music and a lot of like party music. But you know, like everything in life has this transition into the bad times. And a couple years later, you know, the whole thing with Solange and, you know, and them having issues with the relationship as reported by people, which we don't know exactly what the problems were, but they were reported that there were issues in their relationship and in their home. You know, I feel like Beyonce probably wanted to expose some of that in her music as well. I'm not sure if Beyonce's writing, but if anybody's been in the studio with people, you know, when you're in the studio with people, they begin to know you, you know, as a person, as far as the things that are going on with you, because, you know, you're with them a lot of the time of the day. You know what I mean? So, you know, you guys have conversations about what's going on in your life, and, you know, people are going to notice when you're not having a good day because something happened, and then you start to confide in these people, and, you know, it starts to come out in the music. So I feel like that's probably what happened with the whole Lemonade thing. Like I said earlier, it could be a business ploy for them, as a way to change and sell some more albums. Which but I don't think they have any issue selling albums as long as they say it on record, say that they're coming out with an album. People are going to go flush to the internet to go buy it. So,
all right, true indeed. All right, let's do this. Nick, back to you, my brother. Classic albums. Break down to me, what is a classic album for you, and what is your rating system? What is your personal rating system of a classic album?
I don't really have like a rating system. Like with the Source, I fell off of that. Like when they gave Smith & Wesson 3 mics and they gave Exhibit 3 mics, I was like, fuck a mic, rating system. I can either like it or I don't love it, or I just like it, or it's the classic. So I don't really have like no mics.
Okay, all right.
Like, I don't have 4 stars, 5 stars. I don't have none of that.
All right. So let me ask you this: from what we were talking about on Twitter, when you were saying that this album has the potential to be a classic, even if we throw away the mics, I was wondering what you meant by that, because remember we were talking about the Infamous and how the Source gave it a 4.5, and we were saying how they went back and eventually gave it a 5, and you was on your Avon Barksdale shit like fuck that, no do-over,
walk away.
That's not the way the game is played. Whatever you stamped it originally is what it is. So I'm just curious as how can something have the potential? Because when I hear the word potential, I think of athletes. So I feel like Lonzo Ball has the potential to become a great player, but I won't know that until I don't know what his
father shuts the fuck up.
Yeah, shuts up. But we don't know what the future is. Versus we have the album in front of us, so it's not like Jay is like, well, here's 3 songs, I'm gonna give you the other 3 in another 2 years. Like, we have the whole album. So for you, how would an album an album can grow to be a classic? For you, does it take time? And for everybody, I'm gonna come back and ask all of y'all, like, how does that work? Does an album take time? Is it a certain strategy? Like, I've said, certain albums you just know. So I'm gonna ask everybody how that works for you. But for Nick, so like, when you say this has the potential, like, what would this have to do to, I guess, eventually become a classic? Is it how often you go back and pull it out 6 months from now or a year from now? How does that work for you?
For me, that's what it is. Like, listening to it, I was like, all right, I can already tell this is an album I'm gonna come back to. And due to the fact that it's Jay-Z making a good album, because post-retirement, I only like this album and American Gangster. Like, he can keep the rest of it. So the fact that I think it's a great album. I know I'm gonna come back to it just because I like it a lot. I think it'll grow into a classic, especially for this current era of hip hop.
All right. Yeah.
Now we start ranking it against his other albums like Reasonable Doubt and Blueprint and that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that was a different era. So I can't compare the classics of today to my era, because I'm not as connected as the young cats are.
Right. And that's one of the things that was like killing me.
Yeah, but then another thing too, my thing was we kept saying you have to give albums time to be classic. So my thing was how long? Because like when Paid in Full came out, how long before that was deemed a classic? I wasn't old enough. I was only 8 when that came out. When Paid in Full came out,
I don't think it ever was looked at like
before he's like, that's a classic.
But see,
can I speak on that real quick?
Again, Nick, you gotta remember, it's what we talked about with those days of mid '80s hip hop. We were still living in the 12-inch days. So I don't look at it like that. Yeah, we already had Eric B as president. We already had My Melody. We already had half of the album before the album even dropped. So we had time to live with those songs.
Yeah, but I don't even know that I can ever remember having a conversation back then, because that's when I was in high school when Paid in Full came out. Mm-hmm. And I don't ever recall ever having a conversation with somebody like, yo, this is a classic album. It was just like, yo, Eric B and Rakim is dope. This is a dope album. You know what I mean? When Long Live the King came out, this is a dope album. It's like, yo, this is a classic. This whole classic shit, that's really because of the Source. You know what I mean? When Source was actually, like the Bible for hip hop and shit. But I think some of that's it's too overblown, man. Like so many other things, like the term hate. Everything gets used too much and overblown and thrown out there. Oh, he's a genius. He ain't no goddamn genius. He's a musician that samples, man. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? That's taking shit too far, because everybody wants to be to put a label on something and hold it up like, see, this is dope. And, you know, let it be for their generation and for me and for us. This is our shit. So I think some of that's a little overblown, and I wouldn't call this a classic, and I don't like calling anything a classic. Whatever classic is going to be, whatever you think it is. Regardless how many mics. You know what I mean? You could have two songs that just resonate so deep, because like Patrice Rushen, one of her albums to me is incredible because of 3 songs. The other songs I don't listen to like that.
Right.
But those 3 songs, them shits I listen to them. I got my daughter listen to them. Them shits is like, that shit is a classic. But because they're on, those 3 songs on that one album, the album for me has kind of classic feeling. But if you were to rate it each from song to song with other albums from that time, it really wouldn't withstand the test. You know, it couldn't live up to those other albums like Songs in the Key of Life, where every song damn near is just incredible. But those 3 songs for me on Patrice Rushen's album is just incredible. So the album holds more weight for me because of those 3. So it's hard using that classic shit, man. I think we should all just get away from that, and it's whatever it is to you. You know what I mean? It's how it resonates to you type shit.
All right, so B, so you're like, that's the classic thing, that the 5 mic, throw it away, whatever.
Yeah. But that, first of all, that's all subjective to your own opinion. You know what I mean? And I think that's the problem with the younger generation, where like
let me say this real quick, B. But here's the funny thing: if I tell you right now, Illmatic's not a classic, niggas gonna look at me crazy
all day,
right?
I mean, that's crazy talk.
Yeah. No,
this is crazy.
This said
I had to delete his Twitter page because of
like, whoa, wait. That's crazy talk. But you just said it's about what it is.
But I'm saying, but it's crazy talk for me, because to me, like I've said on podcasts before, that to me, Illmatic is one of the greatest albums, regardless of hip hop, R&B, country, soul, whatever. Yeah. I put Illmatic as one of the best albums in music history. You know what I mean? So to say it's not a classic, whatever you want to term what a classic is, how you define that shit. To say that about Illmatic to me, you sound crazy. That's all I can say. Quantify that however it fits.
All right, no doubt, Red. What about you? Do you rate stuff for classic? You gotta, you know, is it because it's source? Do we throw it away? What's good with you?
I'm like Bezo, man. I actually wrote down what he said, man. His point is actually perfect, because a classic is subjective to the listener. You may think one album is a classic, I may think that shit is trash. So how I'm judging it is totally different based off of how you judging it, man. For me, classic album for me deals with time, the initial feel when I hear it, what's going on in my life, the impact socially and musically, man. It has to somewhat change the climate musically for you to even consider it. In my opinion, a classic.
I got something to say on that.
Okay.
Finish.
But to answer your question, I wrote this down earlier. This album to me is not a classic and will not be a classic, in my opinion.
Okay. All right. What was you gonna say, Nick?
He said something very important about a classic changing the landscape, right? So if that's the case, we call a lot of stuff classic that ain't classic.
Yes.
Like if a classic gotta have like impact, change the direction of the music currently. Cause like with Rakim, my pops don't even listen to rap, but he's like, this nigga right here is because you got rap before Rakim,
and you got rap after
Rakim came.
Yeah.
And he no more.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct.
And I mean, I think
that many albums that change the direction of hip hop. Even Outkast.
But I mean, I think it's like Rex said, it's about what it is for you. See, that if I could tell you, because I actually wrote it out on my site, the 5 things that make an album a classic to me. Changing the landscape isn't one of them. Right. That's not one of my things. I don't feel like you gotta shift the direction of hip hop.
Right.
The way
and that's not what I said. I said the impact. You don't necessarily got to change it, but what impact does it have on other people? You don't got to change shit, because I don't think that Good Kid, Mad City changed anything, but I think it woke motherfuckers up like, yo, who the fuck is this kid in the West that's been sitting with Drake for the last 3.5 years? It woke people up. It didn't change people. You didn't hear more or less of what was going on. It just was like, oh, okay, all right, let me wake the fuck up. It don't necessarily got to change it. That's
But
cool.
The impact. I got you.
Yeah. The impact. It's got to be like, oh, you got to at least feel that shit in your chest. Because if I slap you in your face and you don't feel it, you're gonna be like, nigga, get the fuck out of here. But if I slap you in your face and you feel it, you're gonna be like, okay, I just got some impact, you know.
All right, no doubt. Jace, what about you, man?
What's that, sir?
Just about classic, you know, how long does it take for a classic to resonate? Do we even need the word classic? What does it mean to you?
Different strokes for different folks, man. I'm a person. I need to be able to listen to 90% of the album. Meaning, you got one skip on the album before it's instantly thrown out the classic bracket, right? So you got to damn near put. With that said, there's certain albums that I can listen to front to back. Maybe not one skip, maybe one skip. On a bad day, maybe two, depending on what I'm just instantly going for because of instantly what I want to feel. And maybe you got a song that it don't hit me right there. Impact stands the test of time. You definitely got to be able to stand the test of time.
All right.
Because of the climate that we are in, because of where I am at my state of life, this album, along with Life is Good, because I held Life is Good a classic when it first came out. I wasn't on here. I wasn't on the writer's bench. But when Life is Good came out, because Nas was on his grown man shit, certain stuff that he discussed, his vulnerability, right away it pulled me in. Like, yo, this is a grown man who's comfortable in his skin, and he don't give a fuck what nobody else think. This man going through a divorce, and he said, "I do it again. Half you motherfuckers won't wife your baby mama, but you won't leave her." Like, yo, you gotta respect that. That's a grown man, you know. Because of where Hove is right now, because of the political climate, because of the climate of the black community, our run-ins with the police, constant brutality, second-class citizens in today's society, despite all of the advances that we've made, despite our impact on pop culture, because of where he is, he even mentioned it in the album, talking about Prince. Sitting down talking with Prince before he died, knowing damn well what this man wanted, and yet and still here we are where we are today. You know, him to be able to put some shit like that out on wax, having his stature, having all of this stuff lined out, man, for me, that speaks volumes of his character, his integrity, and a lot of niggas like, yeah, yo, but this is Hove. I get it. I'm with y'all. But he ain't have to do that. This man ain't have to spell out a lot of shit on this album that may have gone over your heads on other albums. He's really dumbed down a lot of shit. If you listen to Reasonable Doubt and you listen to where he's gone since Reasonable Doubt, this man has really dumbed the fuck down. He has dumbed the fuck down to the point where a lot of motherfuckers that have college degrees still don't grasp the concept of a lot of the content that he puts out there, right? So for him to be able to spoon feed motherfuckers for the culture, he didn't have to give us this album. And here's the most important part. Because of the success that he has achieved, whether it be through his business accolades or through lyricism or through the fact that there are sheeple, there are dummies that really will follow anybody who is just confident. That's the society we live in. If you're confident, a motherfucker will follow. Yeah. This man is giving you a lot of shit on top of that. And dumbed down to appeal to you, because a lot of shit that he spits is over people's head. He didn't have to give us this. This is something that a lot of, like, Bezo, you said it. I think JP, you said it. This is something that we could have used 5-6 years ago, and I'm totally with that. And because I'm getting it now, I'm happy.
What?
And because he took the time out to give it to us, he ain't have to give it to us, because he still would have gone platinum if he ain't give you this. Guaranteed he'd have gone platinum if he ain't give you this. Oh, yeah. I'm happy.
Yeah, it's hard not to go platinum if you got sprint titles. So I mean,
but would you do that if you worked your ass off to get where you are in life? Why wouldn't you stack the balls in your court?
What you mean?
If you had the ability to fix the deck in your hand after all of that work you've put in for 20 years in a culture where typically after 5 years, it's like, who? Dark-skinned Jermaine. You see what I mean? You know what I'm saying? When you're in a culture like that where you were so disposable, why wouldn't you stack the cards in your deck, man? And like we've all agreed, this is the aspiration. This nigga's living. He is the walking Bruce Wayne, yo. He is the walking Bruce Wayne. Not that. I dare one of y'all niggas to knock that.
I mean, I'm saying that's all good. I'm just saying, nigga, I ain't gonna do the Chris Rock and give you props for what the fuck you supposed to do. Like, this is what a grown ass man should be talking about. And I feel like we all jumping up and down, like Jay said, save money, motherfucker. You should. I mean, I can't give you props for doing what you supposed to do. Like, you a grown ass man. This is what you supposed to talk about. You weren't supposed to be flossing all year.
But is he supposed to talk about this?
Yeah, yo, quick story. Today, quick story.
Hip hop is supposed to be, and here's where we may split hip hop and pop. Wherever you are, I look at Jay as if you hip hop, you all about what you live. What you live and don't appeal to me because I ain't rich. So a 47-year-old man. So when I'm reading articles in hip hop magazines, I'm seeing people say this is the first mature album for hip hop. Really?
No, it's not. Absolutely not. But here's the thing. Here's another thing. Q.
He told you about his mom being gay on Get Rich or Die Trying.
Here's another thing, Q. The dumb are mostly intrigued by the drum. How many niggas really intently listen to albums these days? We are not average people listening to albums.
Right. Well, here's the thing. How many people just listen to albums by Jay? That's a question. Which is going to be more than the person who listen to a Nas or to a Fonte or to other people, which will always bring me back to my point of why hip-hop journalism sucks, because these niggas don't know nothing about the culture.
Yeah, they're not fans.
Wrote that article need to be fired because this is so far from the first mature hip-hop album. But I mean, and again, I'm not knocking Jay. I love that Jay talked about this stuff. But again, I personally can't give you props, you know, for saying, I mean, because I get what you're saying. He didn't have to. Nas didn't have to say, hey, I'm getting a divorce. I cheated on my wife. I messed up. You're absolutely right. You don't have to. But I guess it's just the fool in me, or like Vegas, he always killing my dreams with ghostwriters. It's the little hip hop kid in me who's like, well, you're supposed to rap about what you're going through. You know what I mean? So, and again, I'll just be the little kid who still thinks wrestling is real and the Road Warriors really killed Dusty Rhodes. You know? That Saturday to find out if Dusty's alive while it's not be worried all week. And my mom was like, what's wrong? I'm like, yo, Dusty fucking dead. Yo, and my mom was acting like I'm stupid, you know, but that's what I mean. That's the little kid in me that I'm like, yo, you're 47. Like when Outkast came out with, you know, Miss Jackson, I'm like, yo, that's what I want. I want people to talk about your baby mama. You know, I want you to talk about I pay the bills and why do you know, again, that's just a little kid in me. And I understand that that's not the industry we live in. I understand that, you know, like everything you just said. So we're saying the same thing. I'm just like, I am happy that Jay did say these things because like Beazle said earlier, there are people who wouldn't think about it, who wouldn't think about credit, who wouldn't think about not cheating, who wouldn't think about all the things that Jay is saying. And now we got 100 people now who know what Dumbo is in Brooklyn. So it's a good thing, you know. He's giving you a tour because niggas is asking me, yo, what the fuck is Dumbo? So, you know, it's great that Jay can still keep us on our toes. JP, classic albums anymore? Is it just about what speaks to you, man?
Yeah, I think it's just about what speaks to you, but I mean, for me, anything that's classic, it's not classic until sometime in the last. That's how I really feel about it. It's like, it could be a few years from now. If the replay value is still the same, it still conjures up them feelings. And it don't got to be a full out of 10 songs, all 10 got to be great. Like, it could be a couple misses on there. But the other songs that do hit with me, like Bezo said, resonate with me so much, it's a classic in my eyes. So, I mean, the rating system now, but the classic, yeah, the albums, but this album it's not gonna be a big classic to me. I just can't cut a beat. I just can't.
And the funny thing you said, and Bezo said it earlier, I think, Nick, one of the things that back in our day, it was always just, was it dope or not? Like, I think that literally was just our litmus test.
So automatic.
Can I say one thing, Kill?
Yeah, what you gonna say, Jay?
No, the fact that it was like that was because of the level of competition, because there was so much heat out there back then. There are a lot, and there was a lot of heat across the board. And gentlemen,
you didn't have to separate the shit like that because it was already. Kane was dope. G-Rap was dope. Rakim was dope. You know, this cat, all these different dudes was doing dope shit. Even if it was just like you did say, Kill, it was more about the 12-inch and the singles back then. Right. And that goes to say where hip hop was in its infancy, whatever. But let me just say this: I got to get ready to peel. But the one thing I'll say about Jay with this, I mean, going back to your point about the whole lemonade and this calculating all that. Yeah, Jay is a meticulous very calculated businessman, as well as Beyonce. Nothing she's done over these years has been my mistake. Everything's been by design. Now, that incident in the elevator produced 3 ill albums between Solange, Beyonce, and Jay now. So that I don't think was staged. I think that was real. What I think Jay was trying to accomplish, and I will give him credit because I think he did, was when you look at artists, like you said, Kid, you want to believe that you're making your music because it's about who you are as an individual and your real life shit. I think what Jay tried to accomplish with this album is being looked upon as a real artist, not just an MC, not a rapper, but an artist first and foremost, where a real artist will pour their heart and soul into their work, and those become their dopest albums. So I think conceptually, he tried to do that with this, because this every song on some level, you can tell whether you know Jay or not, whether you know any backstories of his life, you know that this shit resonates. This is real for him. And like Yao said, this is the first time he's ever been open, like an open book in his life. So for that, I'll give him credit, and I think that's mission accomplished. But again, for me, it's a total contrast, man. For me, man. There's parts about it that I love and I respect what he did. There's other parts that, as a hip hop head, I just can't grasp. Like it's missing something. And again, I hate to be the dead horse, but it's the sonically for me that's a big hole for me that can't be filled. Because like I said, I tried, man. I tried to fill that missing hole of that bass and that bottom, and it's not there. And that shit, to me, again, talking about, it's all about subjective to the individual. For me, that will prevent it from ever being a classic. But having said that, I think this is his most important work since the Black Album. And there's a difference. It may not be a classic, but for him as an artist, I think it's his most important work since the Black Album. And I got to go on that.
All right, big. All right.
Please.
Two that I was gonna say too, Nick, and this a whole nother show that we're gonna talk about. I felt like Jay's The Hard Knock Life album kind of split hip hop. And what I mean by that is that I remember being at Morgan, and usually, JP, we'd be on campus, everybody would love Tribe, we all loved everything. But when that Hard Knock Life album hit, like, that was the first time I saw a split. And it's crazy that Bezo just left, but I was at Bezo crib and Roots was on one side of the room like, this is the shit. And me and Sean Bezo was on the other side of the room like, this shit is whack. What's up with the beats, these keyboard beats? And that was the first time that I had ever seen hip hop heads disagree on an album. Because for the most part, it was like, Wu-Tang is dope, Black Moon is dope. Everything that was coming out during those 92 to 95 years, just everything was dope. There was never RJP. There wasn't no arguments like, it's Smith & Wesson dope. And like, it was just like, everything that's coming out is just dope. You know what I mean? So I do think the magazines, The Source did it. I know for me writing for other blogs, everybody has a rating system. Rolling Stone has the stars. Siskel and Ebert had the thumbs up, thumbs down. So I think it was the media that kind of came in and gave us stars and mics and all of that. But Vay, I know you write for a couple of sites, a report for a couple of sites. Classic for you, about what you like, or do you still do the 5 mics, or is that just simply because you got to report for other places?
Nah, man, if people know me, I'm honest. So even when I write, if they not, having me write for my honesty, then I'm not writing. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how I feel about it. So when I heard this Jay album, it was my honest opinion, and it's dope to see this discussion because a lot of shit y'all saying I wrote. Like a lot of shit I pointed out, this isn't Jay's most lyrically impressive album, it's his lyrically important album.
Mm-hmm.
I said that shit in my review. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I can hear. I can hear somebody who Jay's a late bloomer when it comes to being that kind of artist. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't comfortable doing that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I gave him credit for. I didn't give him credit for having a lot of money or the baddest chick in the game and all that other stuff. I gave him credit for showing us him, who we already, if you follow Jay-Z, you kind of know who he is, even with all the privacy. But I think the thing with the classics is, back then hip hop was real young as a genre. Now hip hop is coming up on 40 years. Now it's starting to become a older genre where now we can debate classics, and that becomes a part of the discussion. because now you have all these different eras that have occurred. Back then, you know what I'm saying, we wasn't going to talk bad about 88 and all of that, you know what I'm saying, because that had just happened for us. And the 90s was like the new wave, you know what I'm saying? But now you've had several waves. Now you can look at the spectrum of artists, the influences. Hip hop has a chance to, I think people like Kendrick are showing you hip hop coming around full circle, you know what I'm saying? With all the stuff in between the, you know, some of the whack shit that took over the radio, some of the trap music now. The reason why people like Kendrick so much is because he reminds you of something old school without sounding old school.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He sounds and feels like a new school artist, but he harnesses a lot of the elements of what we grew up with. And that's why we kind of fuck with him. Even if we don't really feel like his album is the greatest of all time, you know what I'm saying? We still feel like, nah, he's the torch of what we know. And it has a lot to do with the time. Because like Bezo said, man, I remember, like, we never said, you know, what's a classic, what's not. We debated who we liked more than the other, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But we never would be like, oh, that's not really a classic. Like, we damn near liked everything except for, you know, Prince of Darkness. Hurting and shit. That's when we was like, all right, nah, you can't do that.
We all agreed. So with that, we all agreed. We all
typically
like,
all agree.
Good, man.
Typically all agree. Like, yo, this shit is hot. This shit is hot. Did you hear this? Did you hear that? It was all excitement. Now it's been done for so long. It's hard for people to find that creative edge, and only the good ones creep through. And it's dope to see an artist that's 47 years old in a game where you could barely reach your 20s at some point and not be considered old. Like, think about when KRS-One was like 47. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't having that same impact he did when it was like BDP and all that shit. Jay-Z has a bigger impact now than he did back then. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a part of the game changing. And I think a lot of people throw around classic and hate because that's just what you do. You know, you either on one side or you're on the other. And they just haven't really learned how to really absorb music for what it is, even if it's garbage. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll listen to a Migos album and be like, all right, everybody's talking about it. Let me see what it's about. I could find what they like about them. But then when you start ranking them amongst hip hop in 40 years, you know, they don't really scratch the surface. Besides, you know, creating a style that everybody uses. That's it. That's their footprint. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I feel like there's time for this album. I don't know if it's going to be a classic. It's definitely going to be one of Jay's best. Because when I listen to it, I really fuck with it from beginning to end. But again, when you turn on the radio, you know, it's easy to fuck with something like that. Because you really don't fuck with half the shit you hear on the radio. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the crazy thing for me is almost like Buckshot said something on the Got You Open I Got You Open remix. Said not too underground to make you stop when you mingle. And the funny part was I was at my man's 40th barbecue the other day, and the DJ was throwing on songs from this joint. It kind of like stopped the party. Like, this is not, you know, like niggas was chilling. It was like he put on 444. It was like,
what the fuck is you doing?
You know what I mean? Like,
what the fuck is you doing?
It stopped the barbecue. It's like,
it's not for that.
Yeah, and that's the wild. It was wild to hear a Jay-Z song actually stop a party. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that was wild. But yeah, real quick, classics for you. Does it take time? Do you do the 5 mics, or is it just, you know, good or dope?
I mean, there's all types of different classifications for me. Like, for me, it's standing the test of time is the most important factor for me. Like, it's gotta age well. Like, if I gotta hear it years later, 5 years later, still have to have a similar effect when I first downloaded it, however you wanna, you know, quantify or classify it. The main thing for me, it's gotta stand the test of time. Like I said earlier, some albums you know right off the bat. Some take a little time for it to grow, and then you realize the angle of where the artist was coming from, and then you see where they were going, and then combined with the music and the lyrics, you might determine it's a classic years down the line. But like I said, like it's got to be. You have to have a moment. It's got to be a moment, and it's got to stand the test of time for me to consider it a classic for me.
All right.
Yeah. No, Kill. One other thing. Y'all know I'm a big sports fan just as much as hip hop. But one of those things that, you know, I have these arguments all the time is when people talk shit about Floyd Mayweather and being boring.
Preach.
About him being boring. But then he stayed away, and you watch these videos of Canelo and Pacquiao trying to hit this nigga, and he's hitting them. People didn't remember because during the fight it was so much hype, and you know, you just all into it, and certain shit you're not seeing because you don't know what's going to happen next. But then when you come back 2 years later and you look at a video of Pacquiao throwing some really fast punches but clearly missing him, and Floyd clearly hitting him, then that's when you look and be like, damn, maybe he was one of the greats. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with these albums. You know, like y'all just said, if you go back and it evokes a feeling from 5 years ago, you know, and from beginning to end, and you're transported back in time to that moment when you first heard it, somewhat of a classic besides, you know, if you bring up some bad fucking emotions and shit, then, you know, hey, whatever. That's something else, you know what I'm saying? For some people, you know, you're going through shit and albums affect you differently. But yeah, man, I just feel like it's the same difference with that boxing analogy where I see people now who were like, man, he was running the whole time in that fight. And then when they look at the video years later of everything slowed down and you could see it and there's no hype around it, they're looking like, yeah, he kind of beat Canelo's ass. You know what I'm saying? So same thing with hip hop.
All right, well, thank you, Nick, for deading the 5 mic system that I've loved so much. I appreciate it. Real quick, because I know I've held y'all hostage too long. Somebody on Twitter has said, yo, No ID did his thing on this album with Jay. He needs to do the next album with Nas. All No ID with Nas. I already see Rex saying no, so I don't even need to go to you. Jace, No ID, all album with Nas?
No.
Okay. Jay, all right. Well, let me since this seems to not be a No ID crowd out here. Let me say this: do you think Nas would do better doing an album right now in his career with one producer, or does it even matter? JP?
Oh, shit. I mean, it would matter. I think one thing about this album, like I said, I give it a 3.5 on that rating system. And the beats didn't, not like Bezo said to me, and I wasn't a huge fan of the way he chopped some of the samples, but the project was cohesive. It sounded like a cohesive body of work, and I will give them that. So I would love Nas to have a cohesive body of work like that with some producer who I would have to think about it and sit on it, but it would be nice to hear that. That's one thing I would give No ID. It's a cohesive body of work.
All right, no doubt. Nick, same thing. Do you want Nas, one producer? Nick, one producer for Nas?
One producer for Nas?
Or does it matter?
I don't think it really matters at this point.
All right. You sound like Nas is dead. Like, you sounded like it really don't matter what he do. He dead anyway. Like, I mean,
oh shit!
It's a hard crowd tonight. Hey, what about you? Do you think Nas for this next album needs the one producer, or he dead in the water like Nick said?
I don't think he needs one producer because he kind of started the multiple producers, and
right.
Everybody will say that album is one of the greatest of all time. But if he did, I don't think it needs to be No ID. I'll take an Alchemist in Nas album.
Exactly. I just wrote that down.
I said that.
You know what I'm saying? Because I think Alchemist could give him enough variety so it would feel like, you would look like, holy shit, he did all of this, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think he has the kind of beats where we can kind of get that Illmatic essence without it feeling like a rehab, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
right,
yeah, I don't think this need to be a trend though. It don't matter.
All right. And yeah, what about you? Next Nas album, one producer.
Well, first of all, Nas' album was done last year according to the Khaled album. I'm still waiting for it. That's one. Number two, honestly, like whatever Nas decides to do is cool with me. I would like to hear him with one producer. And if I did have to pick one, it would be Primo. I feel like if Royce could do an album with Primo, I think a Nas Primo album would be outrageous. Outrageous.
Outrageous.
I think it'd be tailor-made for him.
Yeah. I think premiering Nas discussion, that shit should have happened 12 years ago.
I agree.
I don't think Nas can fit in what Primo is doing today. It's just not going to work.
Yeah, I wouldn't even want a Nas Primo.
I wouldn't. I'll go crazy over a Prime album,
But you know what? I don't want to get too off topic. Yeah, I'm letting y'all go. But that Prime album, I really think it was because he was all sampling that Adrian Young beat.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right.
To go wrong with his samples. His samples are so dope. You know what I mean? Because then I hear other stuff Primo has done, and it don't got that same vibe. So I think any of us digging out of Adrian Young's personal catalog
can't go wrong.
Yeah, you can't. Like if you got a machine and you know how to turn it on, you can. Like it's gonna be really hard to go wrong with that Prime. So even with Roy saying they're in the studio working on Prime 2, I'm like, is Adrian Young in there too?
Right, because if not,
I'm like that album. If it ain't Nas over 95 Primo, and here's the funny part: even when Life Is Good was being made, they asked Nas, why didn't Primo make the album? He was like, well, I was just vibing with producers who was divorced. And I said, did this nigga just say, you did not make the album? He said because No ID is divorced, Swiss was divorced, Remy was divorced. So he said we kind of just in our divorce vibe right now. That's
crazy.
So Rack, give him all your stuff, man. Give him all your info.
Jesus, man. At Twitter, man, at DJ Rep1. IG is worldwide Rep1.
All right, Jace, give him everything, bro.
Hashtag too busy to sleep. Hashtag full-time college student, full-time dad, part-time beat maker.
There you go.
Jack of all trades, master of none. D, all of the above. It's Twitter at JTyler0801. On IG, it's at JERIKTYLER. Peace and love to everybody out here.
All right, no doubt. JP, give him everything, fam.
At Twitter, at Facebook, IG, it's all JPAZ Music, JPAZ Music.
All right, what's up with the Bandcamp stuff too?
Oh yeah. Definitely check me out, jpazmusic.bandcamp.com. Working on a new project coming out with another producer of mine coming soon called Amp Soul. So that'll be on Bandcamp as well. I'll keep y'all posted.
All right, no doubt. Nick done killed my Source 5 Mic Dreams. You, man. What's all your Twitter stuff?
Nick. He didn't hear you.
Nick, what's all
Nick, he talking to you, Nick.
I couldn't tell you talking to me or not.
I'm talking to you. I was talking to you.
Way to win 79. No mic ratings. That's my thing.
NoMicRatings.com. All right, no doubt.
Oh, shoot.
Give them all your stuff, bro. Vegas, give them all your stuff, fam.
You can follow me on social media at Vegas World INC. You can check out my review of the Jay-Z album 444 on theshadowleague.com. And check out my podcast, Hip Hop Now Podcast, on soundcloud.com/Hip Hop Now Podcast.
All right. Y'all, geez, that was real dope. The Twitter joint you had for the playoffs, bro. Real good.
Yeah. I'm working, man. I got some projects. I did a project for Twitter for the playoffs. I just did a project for the NBA draft that was on BleacherReport.com. Got about 350,000 views. Woo-woo. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here a little, feel me. Okay. All right. Feeling good about myself. Nah, I appreciate the love, though. Seriously. My Twitter is Music, YAW Music. My Instagram is YAW Music. I'm finishing my project right now. I got Rec on there. I got Kill on there. I'm finishing my project. That should be coming soon. I got another project coming with Bleacher Report soon. So I'm doing some things, man. Holla at me, man. You know what I mean?
All right, you be killing me on Twitter with the hairline Jedi joint, but I am, however,
the hairline Jedi. Just want to give a brief little synopsis. Hairline Gang is a gang for gentlemen who are over the age of 30 who still possess a fire hairline.
I'm past that.
I see. Hey, Kill, you got a hat on, but you in the game, bro. You in the game, guys.
Still there.
You in the game, guys. You in the game.
Ain't nothing changed.
You in the game. You in.
Any man over 30 that can run a T outline or two over his forehead and not edging up in front.
Bravo.
Y'all already know what it is with me at Kill889. We'll make beats for food, man. I'll check y'all out next week. So basically we had a 3.5 to 4 for the 444 joint. That's what we kind of averaging around here. Even though Mike's system is dead now, thanks to Nick. Good album. That's where we at, y'all. All right, next week, y'all, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yep.